Morning, and I'm Xiaopeng Li, and I'm gonna present my survey on event-centric media management. First, this is an overview of the content I'm gonna cover in this presentation. The introduction, media-centric, the comparison between media-centric and event-centric, and the common event model. I'm gonna give an example that is E and generic event model. And I'm going to introduce the media event management circle as an infrastructure for applications, and then applications and future work. First, introduction. Let's first define events, because events have different definitions in different domains. And in the domain of multimedia computing, events are real-world occurrences that unfold over time and space. An event occurs in a specific place, has a duration, and typically involves certain change of state. This is the definition cited by many researchers, and the first sentence is cited by many people, and the second one is, I think, is made by Le Xinxie, a Chinese researcher. And for example,
Australian right now.
Okay, yeah, from China.
From China, yeah.
And like the Beijing Olympics in 2008 and TU Delft Master Kickoff, this can both qualify as events in our domain. And for media management, why do we need that? Because today the media recorders are so popular. People have audio recorders and video recorders, or taking photos. There's those kind of functions in their mobile phones. So there's an explosion of media, both on the internet and on your laptop. So we need some better way to manage them. Now we have some approaches like Flickr, that is for photos, and YouTube, we know that's for videos. But they are not enough. We need some better way to organize and manage the medias. So this is the two essential concepts in area of media management. Years ago, I think people all use the media-centric, including currently people use the approach that is media-centric. We use media as the center of our approach, and we describe the media with event. We can put it as this: media is the first-class entity, and we have second-class entities like, imagine this is a song, then we have the title, the bitrate, the artist, and also we have event as a descriptor of the media. Like this song is produced like in a concert or something. So event serves as a second class for the media. But we want to move to the event-centric approach. So we put event in the center, and we use different descriptors to describe, to document the event. And for media, that is only a second class that support and document the event. Like we want to describe the master kickoff of TU Delft EEMCS, and we use the video, the photos that we record during that event to support this event. So this is the approach. And for the comparison of media-centric and event-centric, we have four main benefits we can get from the event-centric approach. First one, multimedia support. That's because traditional approaches like Flickr, YouTube, they separately only support one type of media. But if we put the event in the center, we can use different types of media to describe one event. And also, unified indexing, because like Google, Bing, including Yahoo, if you search for certain media, you can only search one type at once. Like if we have a broader definition of media, those can all be defined as media, but once a time you can only search for one. And also, the existing approaches doesn't include the social context information into our management, which lacks some advantages might bring about by the social context, because we know social information is very valuable, and we can mine a lot of useful data from them, and we can use them into the management, into like describe the describe the event better and provide the community awareness of the events. And also human experience, because for now, all those approaches management events in a file and folder system. They have different folders and put events in different files. But that is not how we human beings think, how we human beings organize. So we want the event to be a better abstraction of human experience, which comes in a more natural way. That is event-centric. And for the basis of an event-centric media management, we need the common event model. And this is the motivation of a common event model. I'm gonna only introduce two of them. The first one, common-based representation, that indicates the event description. Because if everybody use different kinds, different approach to describe an event, it's not easy for me and you to communicate with events, because it's like a language. We use the same language, it's better for your communication. And the second one, community event management infrastructure. If we're gonna build the common event model, we need some infrastructures so people can build different applications on a common base. And one of the common event management infrastructures I'm gonna introduce is the management circle. That comes later on. And this is the requirements for a common event model. Also long, so I'm gonna introduce three of them. The first one is media independence. Media is very important in the event-centric media management, but the event doesn't rely on the media, which means that an event can exist without the documenting of a media. But in traditional approaches, which is media-centric, if there's no media, there's no event describing that. So this is the difference. But the event is always aware of the media that is supporting it. And also the expressiveness, this is the event description I'm going to cover later on. And for the uncertainty support, this is quite interesting, because when people are mining or detect events from the data sets, like media data, audio, video, or social context, there might be some uncertainty. There might be some errors or problems. So we should take that into consideration. So, actually, this error is in the wrong direction. In the past, we use the media, and we manage the media in a way that is like a database. You have a good database, and you query from the database. But now it's like an information retrieval process, which may have uncertainty inside. You include uncertainties in the process, because the database is fixed, but you know what is inside and you want something outside. But in the process of information retrieval, you don't know what you are going to get. There is something unexpected. So that is the problem we take into consideration in this approach. And this is the most important part in common event model. We need a common description of event. And in this circle, we describe 6 aspects of an event. We have the information, let's start from here. The time, temporal aspect, this is the time. Spatial aspect, this is the location. And the causal aspect, this is the why, the reason of different aspects of an event. Informational, this is the content of the event. Structural, this is the organization of different events. And experiential, this is connected to the human experience, because we take event as human experience. So this is something about the logical thinking of a human being. And this is the generic event model, E. This is proposed by Ramstein. and this is the, I think for now, this is one of the best common event model that is proposed. And this is complex. I'm not gonna introduce that, but we should be aware that there's 2 kinds of events in this model. We have the atomic event, we have the composite event. This is like the subsume of this one, because this one is composed of different atomic events. Like when we are doing presentation today, the presentation is the composite event. Then when I walk onto the front, this is an atomic event. I open my computer, this is an atomic event, so this is like a subset relationship. And we want to use the generic event model to management media, so we have to make some adaptation. And this is the adapted media event model. Just from the former one, we made some adaptation so that it is better suited for the management of media. So we have like different events for different type of media, and we have common descriptors for events and their media. And this is one of the most important media management infrastructures that we have now. And I'm gonna briefly introduce this. This is the media management circle. Why we call that is a circle? Because in the last stage, it comes back to the first stage again. Generally speaking, we have three phases in the event management circle. First is event digestion. It's like the system have to digest some, like you eating stuff, digest some media inside the system, and then the system use a browsing and annotation process to give each media or event and text, or attach some important descriptors on that, and then you use some better way to present or even visualize the events. So this is the three phases. And the interesting is that you process some raw media, and you give a representation of the media, and then the representation comes back as one of the raw media again. So this is why we call that a circle. So the media assets, the stories can be expanded in this way. And I'm going to introduce several typical applications. This application, Emma, is proposed also by Rebsgen and his colleagues. And this is directly based on what I have covered before, the common event model, the common infrastructure. This is like the sun, the real sun. And this is the location view. You can explore the different events with locations. You can use a map to pin on that, and you find relevant events. And this is the timeline view. You have the timeline, and you can choose a certain point on the timeline, and a relevant event and associated media comes out. This is media ether. This is like an internet space that let people to put media and events inside and then explore them. One interesting is that they use a structure as a peer-to-peer network. This is something from the course of networking, and I hate that. But the interesting thing is that this green circle is the center of the space, and logically thinking, that is a centralized system, but physically it's distributed, because we have different entries for the events. So like one in New York, one in Chicago, and one in Delft, one in Amsterdam, but they are connected, interlinked. So some events came into this space, and they have some kind of protocols to communicate, exchange to other points. Like I got something, I give it to you, and you give it to me, and then everybody have the common knowledge. So that is the point of peer-to-peer network, and this concept is quite popular for now. And inventory, this like an media sharing repository. It's like people can put different events, and I myself put some descriptions of the events in a defined way, and then people can share, can interact in this repository, and this is used to promote the community awareness. Like we are living in the same community, and people can share their experience and can interact. And when somebody like comment or share your picture, you get some kind of notification. This is like some function already implemented by Facebook, I think. And the event media, this is proposed by Eurocom, and it is quite interesting because it focuses on the exploration and the visualization of the events. It doesn't say anything about how to build the system or the common event model, but it gives a quite beautiful interface for people to interact with the system. People can search a location, or you can just let the system to detect your location. Like when I open the website, it can detect that you are in Delft, and it can show me the concerts, because this is mainly used with the relevant music relevant events. It can show me the concerts that is happening or is upcoming around the Delft, and I can choose associated media which is relevant to the event. And one thing to mention is that this event media have different data sources. We have so many data sources, and he obtained the events and the media from those data sources and put them together and let people use this interface to explore and to interact with the media. That is the point. And the outlook. First, because the generic event model E I have mentioned before is only semi-formally proposed. It's not a complete result. So we need a formal and effective common event model, and this is something we should keep working on. And the second thing is that I think personalization is a very good, very important thing, because human factors are receiving more and more attention. So we need some kind of personal media manager, which might include like user modeling, human-computer interaction, those kind of things. And also, Ramsey James proposed one very interesting idea, that is event web. So we build a web and let all kinds of applications be interlinked, and people can just open the event web, and you can acquire, you can explore any kinds of events that is happening around the world. So that is like a revolutionary idea, but it's not achieved yet, and we have a lot to do. And I think that's it. Yeah, thanks.